vehicle that I proudly called the ultimate world cruiser, now sitting at a dealership near Johannesburg and being shown off to the public. When it was shown off on TV, of course, the television series in which it was featured, the build, the design and the final testing, actually at this point has attracted something like 1 million views. It's resulted in lots and lots of questions, and questions being like, well, what suspension did you use? Why did you choose that particular arbitrary items, seat covers? Who made the fuel tank? And what follows is some further discussions on the building of this vehicle, its concept, and details as to what products and what ideas were implemented in its design. It's Mythbusters time. One of the products I chose for the Land Cruiser were Takla seat covers, and I've had experience of them for 15 years. I've asked the guys from Takla to assemble some noxious chemicals. I want to try and destroy this thing. And I have an arsenal of some fairly serious weaponry. What happens if our 3-year-old decides that they take a ballpoint pen or a crayon and they start writing on it? So they write a little, well, what would you use to clean that? You would use, thinners. Will thinners ruin the seat cover? I suppose logically you would take the seat cover off the seat in the car, but actually you don't have to. And now I'm going to clean it. Okay. Now what you would normally do now after this is you would put it in the washing machine. And I know for a fact that once you put a set of tatty seat covers, because they've been in the car for 5 years, in the washing machine, they come out, they look brand new. So that's what we'll do, but we'll also look at that later. Now, how about enamel paint? Oh, I'm terribly sorry, ma'am. I've spilt my ice cream. That isn't ice cream, that is pucker paint. So what would you use to get it off? Turpentine, I suppose. Well, let's try some turpentine. Let's see what happens here with this turpentine. But you know what is interesting? So while we've been doing this, the thinners on the ink has vanished completely. And we haven't washed this. Well, the thinners hasn't damaged the seat cover. I don't know if that paint's going to come out. I suppose with a wash we will see. Now it gets exciting. And that is why I'm going to be a little bit more sensible, because we're going to use some really horrible chemicals. Actually, really, again, to see if you can use them to clean the seat covers and whether they will actually get damaged by it. This is acetone. Acetone is carcinogenic, horrible, nasty stuff. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to dollop some of that on there to see if it has any effect at all on the fabric. And now what I've been looking forward to do actually all day, to take some contact adhesive and a nice streak of cut. Oh dear, oh dear. Now what would you do to get that off? Would you wait for it to dry, freak out and panic, and rush and get some benzene? Benzene is very carcinogenic. This stuff is awful, awful stuff. Lots of it. Right. Wow, look at that. Benzene's really, really working on this stuff. Now the whole point of waterproof is that the paint, the acetone, the glue, the benzene doesn't destroy the seat. I mean, obviously you'd take the seat cover off the seat for safety and practicalities before you would clean it, but your seat is properly protected. I'm amazed. I'm absolutely amazed. Bit of rubbing and that will come out completely, and it's come out in little balls, little balls of glue. Amazing. Now the last one is the one that I have not been looking forward to, and that is this awful stuff called hydrochloric acid. Toxic to say the least. All right, it's damaging the fabric. Okay, so this is a bit of consumer advice. Don't pour, try and prevent hydrochloric acid onto your seat covers. But it's done the job, it's protected the seat. Right, now, the most common place of wear on a seat cover is the squab here. So I've devised a test where I take one of these, and this rotates, well, it oscillates at 24,000 RPM. So if I put it on there for 10 seconds, it is the equivalent of 4,000 entries and exits from the vehicle. With somebody wearing, this is about, it's 180 grit. Let's try it. I can't see any sign at all. That was 10 seconds with 180 grit. I cannot see. Wow, that's quite impressive. Right, last test, and this isn't a very difficult one, but I suppose for me personally, it holds the highest risk. My cell phone. Now, the whole point of a waterproof seat cover is also that if you sweat quite a bit, the seat cover doesn't absorb the sweat. So any sweat on the seat will evaporate very quickly. It won't be absorbed by the seat cover. And some seat covers do absorb sweat and are actually more sweaty. They're actually more, I don't know what the word is. They're more uncomfortable because they retain sweat. So now, thirsty work this. Not a drop of water is coming through. And in fact, it is bone dry. This material is pretty strong stuff. I don't know if it's tear proof, but it does not tear easily, even when it's cut. But I wonder how strong it is. I wonder if this could tow a vehicle. So that's test number one, but no, I'm determined to actually break this piece of fabric. So we've now put in actually a stronger piece. It's now properly cut, not an off cut like the last piece, and we're going off road. Broke.
And then, yeah.
Well, this is not really a serious test, of course, but the others were, and proves that if a seat cover is waterproof, it's going to protect it a great deal more than one that is just water resistant or even completely porous.
Okay, the rocks cut this one.